Happy Friday the 13th, everybody.
Ooh.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Alex.
And once again, we're continuing our tradition of not only covering a Friday the 13th movie every time on this particular day, but reacting to the Cinema Snob's review of one of those movies.
Yep.
And at this point, we've tackled just about every one. We are at number 10, aka Jason X. The one where, because it's the unwritten law that every slasher series has to eventually go into outer space.
When you run out of ideas completely.
Although, at this point, Friday the 13th has kind of run out of ideas 2 or 3 times already.
Yes.
Let's see.
They need to go to space.
They had Jason come back as a zombie.
Yeah.
They had him go against a psychic girl with telekinesis. They had him go to Manhattan. And the last one had his soul jumping from body to body to body.
Have they considered space? Or the hood?
And this came out like Jason Goes to Hell ended on a cliffhanger, hinted at Freddy versus Jason.
Just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Not yet.
We didn't get another Jason film for like 8 years, which led to Jason X. And then 2 years after that, we finally got Freddy versus Jason, which I guess means it's a prequel.
I guess.
Hard to say.
I don't think they're going for continuity here, but...
I think continuity just kind of took a holiday long ago.
Yeah.
And without further rambling, let's watch what is one of the dumbest, but honestly, kind of one of the most enjoyable later Friday the 13th movies.
And now Jason is in outer space? Who does he think he is? A leprechaun? Or a critter?
Got the Aliens poster again with
Or
Caligula.
James Bond? This series has gone way too far. Go back to being a grounded series about a mother avenging the death of her son, who later...
Who even remembers that original plot?
And then he's killed and is brought back to life after being struck by lightning, and then fights a girl with telekinetic powers, and then boards a ship to New York where he melts back down into being a kid, and then comes back as a body snatcher. The 2001 film Jason X should probably be called, look, we had to do something while Freddy vs. Jason was in development hell. The movie does what every great ongoing series does, which is change its setting to outer space.
CGI.
Well, almost every great.
CGI is only slightly better than Leprechaun.
Yeah. It was a natural progression of events. Here's a scene from the 1980 Friday the 13th.
Did you know that a young boy drowned the year before those 2 others were killed? The counselors weren't paying any attention. They were making love while that young boy drowned.
And here's a scene from Jason X.
Very apocalyptic.
Clearly the same universe.
What a difference 2 decades makes. There's really no explanation as to how Jason is still here, given the ending of Jason Goes to Hell, but when Freddy vs. Jason did come out, it did tie up that loose end a bit. The film was directed by Jim Isaac, who did special effects work on Return of the Jedi, Gremlins, and Look Who's Talking 2. Its space setting caused many to immediately scoff at the film's existence, which led to bad reviews from critics and fans alike, but its tongue-in-cheek humor and memorable death scenes paved the way for the movie to at least achieve cult film status. It's also the swan song for Kane Hodder's run as Jason Voorhees.
His final time.
As a Cinema Snob, though, if I didn't want slasher films in my national parks, then I definitely don't want them in outer space breathing the same air as Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey. Unless this film can truly surprise a cynical bastard such as myself.
We'll see.
Looks very hellish.
Yeah.
I've already watched Jason Goes to Hell. All of this is apparently going on inside of Jason's head. Why does his brain consist of a 9 Inch Nails music video? Who knew there were tiny men living inside of Jason? The body snatcher worm is one thing, but think about these unpaid employees. Jason is being held at the Crystal Lake Research Facility.
Oh,
What the
jeez.
fuck? Let's base Area 51 in Haddonfield while we're at it. Jason has been held here so long he's growing some prison hair. Too bad his mask is covering his prison beard. Speaking of, it's nice they gave him a fresh new mask. The previous one was getting a little ratty.
Also, his skin looks better.
Yeah.
Jason is not
That's
one
space,
to trust
you know?
in. So,
He's not in space yet.
Insulting his looks, you just blow him up again. Only don't eat the heart this time. Dr. Wimmer has other plans, though.
What are you doing here?
I'm taking the specimen.
Holy shit, it's David Lynch! Jason is to be
That's
transferred,
David
most
Cronenberg,
likely to
who made The
Canaveral
Fly,
Research Facility.
Videodrome, and
Lisa George
Scanners.
Perlman wants him destroyed, while Wimmer wants testing done to find out just how he's regenerating. Fair point. Let's see how that goes.
Probably could have seen that coming.
That death was totally Cronin Hitchcockian. Serves him right for keeping his machete in the research facility with him. No, don't put him in there. That's where we keep our processed meats. He's gonna spoil. Don't worry about this wound. A few 100 years frozen in place ought to heal that nicely.
She'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then Jason became Captain America. He doesn't really save the world. He mostly just kills fornicating teenagers. It's 400 plus years in the future. Earth has been abandoned, except for student research expeditions. I'm not making any of this up. And apparently this research facility was so little known that no one ever stumbled upon it until centuries later, after the Earth was completely abandoned.
Oh, okay.
Should've put him in the spring.
Yeah, why it take them this long to find this place?
It doesn't stand out at all.
Anyone thinking what I'm thinking?
Ooh, free Tyson chicken nuggets. Hell yes! Oh, we're not a chicken nugget. Leave her here, folks. We've already got one actress from Andromeda. We don't need two. Although this is a much better...
The belated Gene Roddenberry
Only
show.
the brightest students get to go on these field trips.
Oh,
Idiot! Their ship is being piloted by Captain Ridley Scott movie as they're headed back to Earth 2, original name. Here, give the body to Commander Todd Farmer. He wrote the script. He'll know what to do with it.
He is the
These
writer.
crew members seem like they should be around students as much as Baby Huey.
We found two bodies in deep cryostasis. The KM unit thinks we can resuscitate the female.
Female. Skip. Yeah. And finger.
Don't molest the frozen women. I guess this is all part of their class. Stupid Shenanigans 101.
Oh shit. Forgot my arm.
Yeah, here you go.
oh, jeez.
How much longer do I have to wait until Jason comes back to life so he can kill that guy?
15, 20 minutes.
Why start questioning things now? We've got fucking to get to.
Smart and sexy.
Right time, right
Nope.
place. Can't tell me anything
Yeah.
different. Nothing like a rotting corpse that smells like 400-year-old blue cheese to really set the mood. The bodies are being put back together by microscopic ants. Go back to the realistic entries, like the girl with telekinetic powers hanging Jason with an electrical cord. Rowan is being told the unfortunate news that the year is now 2455. Ugh, the 50s. The body of Jason may be a bit of a gold mine.
Yee.
A box of DVDs is not a gold mine. I told you. I can't move. Just look at the file.
Oh yeah, tell that to my rare coffin DVD set of Dark Shadows. I guess the opening scene was taking place in 2000, even though the Friday the 13th timeline is so stretched out, it would be the 25th century by this point. Professor Voice of Link wants to sell Jason to the highest bidder. Move over, Nika Toys. Icicle Jason is way better. Someone's gonna have to twist his nipples over a good deal.
Harder.
Ugh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's that?
Oh,
Yeah?
yeah, that's nice.
That's you right there?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Daddy likes
Yeah.
the car.
I don't like future sex. Makes my nipples hurt, but at least they're not falling off.
What do you think?
Hmm?
Do you like them?
They're fine.
She's an android.
Just like an ex machina. Ew, boring vanilla sex. Where's the nipple clamps and the falling off body parts? Speaking of sexy, I'm sure there's a more convenient way to take off a hockey mask.
Ew.
It was then they realized the bread pudding was way too moldy to eat. We've known all along that Jason has a sex sense that is so strong that teens fucking awakens him from a 400-year sleep.
Yes, this is what wakes him up.
Daddy's got a boner! That's another lame machete kill. I was chosen today!
Oh.
Best kill ever.
Well. Didn't see that
Because
coming.
every facility on Earth or in space has a spare machete or machete-like substitute. Now for some backstory on Jason, as if you need to tell me that.
We tried everything. Electrocution, gas, firing squad. We even hung him once. Nothing worked.
Again, blow him up and don't eat the heart.
Yeah.
God, more flirting. Even the crew on board the Emmanuel space vessel is tone down the fucking. Ooh, an android. I hope I get to be one of these on Andromeda. Attention, space.
I'll explain later.
We have a Jason on board. Stop with the fucking unless you want to be killed. He hates fucking.
Oh.
Well,
That guy wanted to be killed. The sex was that good.
the human who was frozen played an android on Andromeda.
Okay.
Well, the android actress in this movie was a human on Andromeda. Here it's reversed.
All right.
Bruno Mattei's Terminator 2. I'm just surprised it took them this long to acknowledge it. Yes, they're practicing inside of a video game, but if this was supposed to be real, would it surprise you in this film? Jason finally gets the chance to say, you and your friends are dead, game over, and he didn't take it. Disappointed. They're gonna wish they didn't play this with a rumble pack. Where's your micro ants now, arm guy? Emergency, we need someone else to finish the script. The writer's been killed. Glad this happened, men. I've been waiting years to say the phrase, look alive, people. Meanwhile, Danny McBride is patiently playing his role in Alien Covenant. Joke's on him, this movie's better. Good one, assholes. You put 1,000 bullets in Jason, and it did nothing but kill all the weed. How else are we supposed to watch Jason X? This crew of soldiers has everyone. Creighton Duke X, Starbuck X, Michelle Rodriguez X. That guy
Kind of a lame kill.
Why am I even bothering to give these people fake names?
This is pretty cool.
He's screwed.
He's screwed.
Fuck you.
Oh.
Last time, I'm not Tony Todd. I was in 300. Get back to hunting Jason. Maybe next time they'll think twice about taking field trips to abandoned planets. This is actually unrelated. She made the mistake of trying to shave while tripping over a spare machete. Make this son of a bitch pay. I bet that worked. Oh no, that didn't work. Annie turned him into Rhodes from Day of the Dead. At least the ship now has an excellent haunted house ride. Again, I've seen how clumsy these people can be. That could have been an accident. Get your ass back in here, David Crosby. We need a good smoke now more than ever. The ship is approaching Solaris, which is either their destination point or they're just crashing into a Tarkovsky movie. The effects are slightly confusing. Is this a city they're crashing into or a space station? I'm sticking with a giant laserdisc player that's equipped with Russian sci-fi films. I'm sure it'll be fine. The Atop the Fourth Wall movie is epic. It is in space. We still get some space, nothing will stop Jason from the window jump scare. This is a movie made up of people who think Jason can be bargained with, can be reasoned with, and can feel pain.
Guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back.
Thanks, Professor, for leaving us with a trailer line. They're all dressed up with no runway around for light years. I'm losing faith in the 25th century education system.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the supply hold. Meet you at the show.
See ya.
What's a bike?
But you people know what DVDs are? Get back to the death scenes.
Well, for me, I don't even know what DVDs are.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh no, when the lights flash like this, it means we're on a cheap TV show set.
Jesus, that's twisted.
The catering sucks. Thank God, Brodsky's still alive and still badass. This whole
Still
future is
ripped.
weird.
Lucky you weren't alive during the Microsoft conflict. Hell, we were beating each other with our own severed limbs.
Oh, come on, Windows Vista wasn't that bad. I think the weed is kicking in with this guy.
Whoa!
Nice reaction. The movie is now reacting to its death scenes the way my smartass reacts to them. It's okay, folks. I'm sure in the future we can blast away from a ship.
What
without
a
hooking
bitch.
first.
She had that coming.
Still better than Enterprise.
Hey.
I should be catching this movie at 2 a.m. on a weekend after Mutant X.
Enter the upgrade.
Relax, folks. My erection is still very much alive. Remember the powerful Mrs. Voorhees monologue about losing her son and her mind? Suck on that! Android versus zombie Jason, bitch! Too bad you didn't try this out when you were attempting every death penalty method.
Oh. Oh.
Great. Now just donate his heart. Wait a minute. The microscopic ants. I always forget about the microscopic ants.
That's on y'all.
I'm beginning to think this movie isn't taking itself very seriously. I'm not sure what's going on in the plot, but I know it has to involve the phrase, "Damn it, we need more time!" Ladies and gentlemen, we have a poster.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Way to make Steel look like a bitch. This is Uber Jason. He's like regular Jason, but stronger and more metallic. Plus, he'll drive you to your destination point at a really low cost.
Well.
I suppose someone needs to sacrifice themselves so that Jason can be mildly inconvenienced. Perhaps you shouldn't have made the ship's walls out of tinfoil.
Wait for it.
Oh.
Staying alive.
Oh, the scene doesn't get that cheesy.
Oh.
It's a line that dared all of the negative reviews to use that quote, and they all took the bait. Uber Jason is in the ship, but never shows up at the right destination point. Now to hook up Miranda from Sex and the City's head to a machine, fix the ship, and cause a diversion to Jason.
This is a great bit. Holodeck.
What the fuck? They put him in the set from The Burning! The scenery, the music. Jason is back in the virtual 80s. That is so 21st century. Sure, I could be watching the original Friday the 13th movie right now, but does that film have micro ants? I don't think so. Nor does it have this.
Hey, you want a beer?
Or do you want to smoke some pot?
Or we can have premarital sex.
We love premarital sex.
I think this is a comedy. See, if only they were holograms in another movie, they wouldn't have had to chop down this similar scene from part 7. Enough reminiscing, Spacin has to keep on not dying.
Whoa.
I must say, I prefer Space Jason over Space Leia. Makes more sense to me. Both of them are headed down to Earth 2.
It looks like he's fucking him in the ass.
Himself to death along with Jason. It's possible Uber Jason burned up on entry, but another Uber serial killer will be on his way shortly, after he's done dropping off someone else on another planet. With Jason now on a completely different planet, think of all the possibilities. He has a whole new Crystal Lake to terrorize. This sets up so much more story. There's endless places to take the series now. Nothing comes of it. The next film was Freddy vs. Jason, and then a remake happened. Although there were comic book continuations,
I can see that.
Yeah.
Jason incarnation, and Todd Farmer did lay out his sequel plans had the movie become a hit. The film went through release date hell. Just look at the poster. This Halloween, meet the perfect 10 in terror. The movie came out in the U.S. in April. That was nearly a year after it had already been released in Germany. Not during Halloween. The film barely broke even at the box office, but Todd Farmer later went on to pen the slasher remake My Bloody Valentine 3D.
Which is fun.
Plus the modern cult classic Drive Angry 3D. I'm not looking forward to visiting the next 2 entries in the series. You could say that it's because there's nowhere else you could go once you've gone into outer space, but really, it's because of the lack of ants.
It's gonna take more than poking up ribs to put down this old dog. Yeah, that ought to do it.
His temporary theme song of 2018,
Okay.
I think. Sad Panda.
Sure to subscribe to our
Lloyd the
YouTube
cartoon.
channel, youtube.com/Stone Gremlin Productions. Follow us on Twitter at the Cinema Snob, or check out our homepage at thecinemasnob.com.
So, that's what many consider the ultimate jump the shark, as you put it.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th movie. How's it look?
I mean, I think if you get over that, it did have its fun bits. It was kind of a campy classic here. There was a lot of, I kind of liked the space angle, and it worked. I think it worked.
A lot better than
Yeah.
Leprechaun.
Yeah.
'Cause they clearly had more money here. And I'll be honest, I love this movie. This film is genuinely enjoyable for one big reason. They are deliberately being a comedy.
Yeah.
Because like the filmmakers knew right away, there's no way this can be done seriously, so we're just gonna have fun with it.
But I thought Jason was good in this too.
Yeah.
Like I thought it'd get back to like more core Jason.
Again, Kane Hodder came back.
Mm-hmm.
He was Jason in 7, 8, 9 in this one.
Yeah.
And you can see why they brought him back. He knew how to, again, bring a lot of personality through his limited movement.
Yeah.
It's a shame because he said he agreed to do this even though he thought the plot was stupid because he wanted to do Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
But they didn't bring him back.
Yeah.
And he was like, I asked them, what's it about? They're like, Jason goes into space. And he says, what's it about? I'll say this. None of the other actors feel like they're half-assing it.
No.
Like they're...
Well, the ones that are just there for comedic effect. But
Yeah. Like the leads are likable.
Yeah.
And there's actually some characters you want to see live. The android chick is fun.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, the pervy professor who wants to sell Jason to get rich.
Mm-hmm.
Brad made a brief joke about it. He didn't go into it too much. But that balding professor actually was the voice of Link in The Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
So, the more you know.
There's lots of connections there, yeah. Yeah. But you knew it was going to be a comedy right from the start there where the guy walked in with his arm, just like...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was funny, and the part where they're in the virtual reality game.
Yeah.
And the bald guy, who, by the way, is the movie's writer, gets his head chopped off, and they're still in the game, so he's like, okay, end program.
Yeah. I liked all the virtual reality bits. I thought that was a nice angle.
Yeah.
That, I mean, they're going sci-fi kind of, but...
Much better utilized than Star Trek did.
Yeah. I thought that was high quality.
The scene where they, like, fool him with the two girls being like, we love premarital. That's a good self-parody right there.
Yeah.
And the sleeping bag bit, that's a good callback to part 7, because there's only there's a scene where he kills a girl with a sleeping bag, and he kills her with only one whack, and that scene was supposed to be like multiple whacks, but it was so heavy he couldn't really use it. This time, however, he can go like wham, wham, bam!
And then the girl getting sucked out into space.
Yeah, it's an obvious line, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
What did you think of him when he had the Chrome upgrade? He became Uber Jason.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, why not, right?
Yeah. Sure, as Brad puts it.
But it did have one of those best kills there at the beginning.
Oh yeah, the nitro cold death.
That was certainly creative.
That's hands down one of the top 5 Jason deaths.
Yeah.
The appearance, last thing I can think of with the movie, the appearance by David Cronenberg at the beginning, the glasses guy who gets impaled.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's one of the most acclaimed horror directors of the past 40 years, 50 years. People wonder, why is he in this kind of cheesy movie?
Yep.
Answer simple. He wanted to die in a slasher film.
There we go.
And he got his wish.
So as long as you don't care that it made no sense, and even from this is future Earth, and we've rediscovered this, like, as long as you're okay with just putting all that away, it's a good film.
There's a lot of great gags here. Brad tackled the film perfectly, covered all the important bits. I liked his callbacks to Andromeda because of the 2 actresses in it. He's right. So many possibilities, and shame the film didn't do better.
True. But I think he did a nice review of this, and again, he loves this series.
He does.
So, and that definitely came through.
So, with that, have we having a good Friday the 13th. The next one that we'll be reacting to sometime next year, I believe, will be his review of Freddy vs. Jason. And we haven't really had a chance to dive into the Nightmare franchise, but I think we're familiar enough with that already.
Yes. Yeah.
I love me some Freddy, and you ever seen Freddy vs. Jason?
I have not seen Freddy vs. Jason, or not yet.
Well, you don't need to see it to enjoy the review, but trust me, it's actually a pretty decent crossover. So, with that, happy killing.
All right, enjoy.